Hey friends, sorry I'm late. Story of my life lately. And I'm not only late, but I'm not prepared. Isn't that just right? Alright. Happy New Year. The first Whatcha Paint Wednesday of 2024. Hope everyone's having a good start to the new year. Oh, thank you. Excuse me. By the sounds of that, you can tell I am not starting off so great, but God, this is really crooked and not doing so well. Hello, Lisa. Lisa, can you let me know if the video is clear or is it like jumpy? Because it's showing it's kind of jumpy on my laptop, but it could just be my internet connection for my laptop. I need a new light pad because this one has a short in it or something. It's driving me crazy. If my connection is bad, I will have to go out of StreamYard just for a second. The screen will go black, and then I will go back to using the cellular. So I did a live video on Patreon last night, and I was using my cell instead of my Wi-Fi, and I was having issues with it. So that's why I put it back on Wi-Fi. Technology, love and hate relationship. It's a bit jumpy and blurry. Okay, so don't leave me. I will be right back. I'm just going to go out, go to my settings. Wi-Fi. All right. Can you hear me now? So I was talking that whole time you couldn't even hear me. All right. I'm just sitting here chatting with you guys and you can't even hear me. I basically was talking about the live stream I did last night in Patreon for Patreon, and it was 2 hours long. And by the time I was done, because of talking so much, I was coughing my brains out. So if I start to cough a lot, I might have to zip the lip for a little bit. And I was talking about the weather, all these boring topics, but woke up this morning to a light dusting of snow. And it stuck to the trees, so it looks so pretty, but it'll be gone in no time. It already melted off the sidewalk and the driveway, which is nice because there's no shoveling necessary. But and I was saying that's the thing I like least about the winter months is everyone getting sick. Oh, and I said that because the grandkids are not coming over this week because they are sick again. Kevin has what I had last week, so he's feeling like crud with a sinus headache. What are you gonna do, right? Just work through it. That's all you can do. Hope you all are staying healthy and happy. What have you been working on since the new year? Any cross stitch, quilting, anything? I have been stitching the last, I stitched a lot on Sunday. Because of being sick, we stayed home. So I got a lot of stitching done. Well, so I was watching football. I don't know if you saw my Instagram post, but I was stitching and watching football, and the Lions were playing, and that was really dumb for me to do because I stitched the head of this bird, and it was wrong, and I'm like, oh, I think I can fudge that. I'm just gonna, adapt the rest of the body of the bird, blah, blah, blah. No, I could not figure it out. And I'm like, and not to mention, I didn't like how it looked. The head was misshapen, and I just didn't like it. So I ripped all that out. Got it all restitched that same day. I got I've got the wing of that bird and the body outlined because I'm doing a Zoom with friends tomorrow night, and I'm going to do fill-in on the bird's body. So there you go. I'll show you what I'm going to finish as soon as I'm done with Whatcha Paint Wednesday. Well, no. When I'm done with Whatcha Paint Wednesday, I have to do a post in Patreon. Oh, shoot. And that might take me a little bit, but then I'm going to do some finishing. I need to go blow my nose. But here is Sarah Levy. This was, I believe, October Patreon chart for Tier 4. And my wonderful friend Donna, she might even be on here. She joins us a lot. Hey, Mendy. Mendy, I got your text. I haven't responded because I'm looking through my paintings. So I'll get with you later today. Another chicken salad quilt. Now I'm curious. Was ordered. Okay. Oh, you're taking orders. Okay. Because I know you make a lot of things to give away, Colleen. And I know like stitchers don't necessarily like stitching something more than once. How do you feel about making the quilt multiple times? Is it enjoyable, or are you getting kind of sick of it? Just curious. Lisa said, I just started stitching again. My father passed away on December 15th, so it's been hard doing anything. I started on Rabbit Rabbit pattern by Ink Circles. Oh, Lisa, I'm so sorry for your loss. So sorry. Oh, you're still enjoying it. That's awesome. So anyway, my friend Donna, stitching. Wait, is it called? What is stitching in the She Shack with Donna? I think it's called. I think that's her floss tube. Stitching in the She Shack with Donna. Anyway, she might join us today. Hopefully she does. Hi Daisy. She stitched this for me and gave it to me when we were at Country Sampler in the fall. Well, I was gonna finish it on a Chantel piece, but I don't have a Chantel piece that it works on because a lot of Chantel's pieces are vertical. She needs to make some more like this, horizontal. But I searched through my books, and let me just show you the most perfect grungy book I have for it. Henderson's Fairy Tales, The Ugly Duckling. Oh my gosh, look how cute, The Ugly Duckling. I love these books. So I paid $5 for it. I love these books with old illustrations, pen and ink. Oh my goodness. I haven't even looked at this yet. Anyway, oh, look at that, Rip Van Winkle. Oh, it's 2 stories. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, I think some pages are missing. Boy, he looks creepy, that Rip Van Winkle. Look at that, copyright 1908. This is an ancient book. But look at the color for Sarah Levy. I hope Donna joins us. I want her to see this. Look, you guys. And I'm hoping that Sarah doesn't cover too much of the book because the book is so cool. Yeah, see, you're going to be able to see, I think, enough of the book to still make it look good. Anyway, I'm going to finish that. I know, isn't it so precious? Oh, I love this. That's the only thing that's hard about finishing on some of these. But that was a gift to me, so I know I will never give this away, or it will always be in my studio. I'll probably actually put it at the house. And then this one, I had for the Jingle Ball, I had Joy. I was never real crazy about it. I love the finish, but I wanted it to be Joy, and it just didn't fit. So I had to stagger them. And if it would have been an O, I think it would have translated better, but it was the Santa face. So it looked like JY and then the Santa. Anyway, so I ripped that off. I didn't rip it off, but I took it off. Then I'm going to finish this cute Santa on there. This is a Patreon ornament. I don't remember what month it was. I think it might have been, oh, well, it's 2023. So it might have been July. I don't know. So let's see. I'm going to make it, I have to make it big enough. I cannot do it with all this fabric. Anyway, I have to make it big enough to cover these globs of glue. And this is going to be a giveaway or a smalls exchange at Donna's Christmas party. Donna's Christmas party was canceled because she hurt her knee. And we could not get everyone back together until February 5th. So I don't know what I did with my pen now. Oh, right here. So now in February, we're going to be doing a Christmas exchange. But who cares, right? So that's what I'm going to be doing at some point today. And then I'm going to go to the house and start taking down my Christmas decorations and cry myself to sleep when I'm done. I'm kidding. I don't like taking down Christmas decorations. It's my least favorite thing to do. Absolute least favorite thing to do. Thank you, Light, for failing me. Jeez. Drawing windows is not easy. They're never the same. and then to try to like line them up. Like this is way over too far. Thank God for Photoshop. Like if I make prints of this or something, I can change it in Photoshop. I have to say that's one thing about cross stitch designing that is so wonderful, is that everything's on a grid, so it's easy to line things up. Not so much when you're drawing. I need to blow my nose. I'm going to go in the bathroom and do it so you don't have to hear it because it's really disgusting. Hello, hello. Lovely to see you. May I ask what brand of watercolors you use? I use a variety, but Winsor Newton Professional Watercolors is my go-to. And it's probably what's in this palette, to be honest. But there are some other ones that are really nice. Daisy's working on A Patriotic Christmas Eve by Twin Peak Primitive. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Well, that's right. Donna said this week. So she works. Oh, God, to explain her job is not easy. She works for the I'm going to mess this up. If she's on ever watches this, she's going to say, Teresa, you just messed that up big bad. But she works with the legislature in her state. She's in South Dakota, and it's like the petroleum and the gas and all that. Like she's very very smart, and she's very knowledgeable, and she's a whiz. Anyways, they are lucky to have her, but it's like she's the only person in the office, I guess, or I don't know, but she runs the show, let's put it that way. And she's not afraid to stand up and say, whatever to the Congress people. Congressman, I don't know, I'm terrible with all that, but she's amazing. Why won't this thing stay lit? It's really upsetting me. There we go. Shh. Nobody breathe. Nobody breathe, or it's going to turn off on me again. But anyway, she was saying that, Congress is back in session. And so, like, after the holidays, her job gets really busy again. I think she mostly works from home. She puts this big, is it a convention? I don't know if you'd call it a convention. But she is in charge of putting this huge event on, and she does it all by herself. The woman is quite talented. Wow, I am messing this thing up bad. I never did go blow my nose. It'd be better than you guys listening to me sniffle through the whole live video, right? All right, let me see. Okay, thank you. I have several. I just need to get them out. Oh, I want to stay, but need to go walk the dogs before work and get some stitchy stuff to do on the bus. Oh, that's so cool. You stitch on the bus. Well, have a great day at work. I don't know your name, unless that's your name. I don't know if that's your business name or that's your name. And I would probably say it wrong anyways. But wishing you a wonderful day at work. Give those dogs a big kiss for me. I love dogs so much. How many dogs do you have? Well, she's probably gone by now. Okay. Oh, you have 4 fur babies. Okay, Shy. Well, thanks for joining us today, Shy. Sweet 4 puppies. Oh. I know you have to go to work, but if you're still here, what kind of dogs are they? Oh, there's just nothing like a fur baby. Nothing like a fur baby. Dog or kitty. I'm quite the dog person, but I've had a kitty and I love that little kitty. She was sweet. Cats freak me out a little bit more though than dogs, because I feel like you can get a cat that just isn't friendly or doesn't want to snuggle. But I've never met a dog that didn't want to snuggle. Well, with its owner. Anyway, maybe they don't want to snuggle with people that don't know, but yeah, I don't like that tea. Hi, Diane. Basenjis, yes. I'm probably saying that wrong too, but I know what those are. When I was a little kid, I had dog books, and then every time we went to the grocery store when there was a new dog magazine out, like Dog Breeds magazine, I would get one. My mom would buy me one. You could point to a dog and I could tell you what breed it was when I was a kid. I loved learning about all the different dog breeds and stuff. I wish I could have retained all of that. But nope. Had to make room for cross stitch, you know. I'm going to have to text Donna when I'm done and say, if you watch the replay, sorry if I butchered your job and what you do. Next time she's on a live, she can tell you guys what she does. I'm having remorse about even trying to explain it. All right, I'm going to blow my nose right now. Oh, a golden retriever. His name is Reese. Oh, okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so I started to say we had a golden retriever. This was before we had kids. We had a dog named Casey, and Kevin and I both worked full time, outside the home. So we felt, oh, she's so bored during the day. She needs a playmate, because this is what you do before you have kids. You have dogs. And we got Cody, and Cody was a golden retriever. And Cody was the most friendly dog. He was one of those puppies that got excited, he peed. If he got yelled at, he peed. We had the hardest time with that dog, getting him to not do that. But, he never had a chance to outgrow that phase. Bubba, you stinker. I didn't shut the door tight enough. Just so I'm done with the live. All right. Kyle's got his puppy here. This pen I'm using is Arteza. And this is a 3mm tip. So I wasn't home from work yet one day, and Kevin was in the garage or at the driveway doing something outside anyway. Dogs playing in the front yard. Well, this guy was walking down the road. I think he had a dog on a leash, and Cody went over to visit. Of course, the person was on the other side of the road and got hit by a car. So I am on my way home from work, and I get a phone call from Kevin, and he told me what happened, and he said, you can stop at the veterinarian's office if you want to say goodbye to Cody. But he said I wouldn't recommend it. Oh, so I didn't. Had to pull over, crying so hard. I get home, and I go in the house, and Casey's not there. Because all I really wanted to do, God, I'm about to cry. This is so stupid. How long ago was this? 30 some years ago. It's still fresh. And I went in to I just wanted to snuggle with my other dog and cry. And I couldn't find her. So I called Kevin and I said, where's Casey? And he said, he didn't even think about Casey. Like, when this happened, all he did was scoop up Cody and take off to our vet. Or maybe he did, but she ran away. Basically, she saw it happen. They were like best friends, Cody and Casey. And so when Casey saw it happen, it scared her so bad that she ran away. So here I am with no dogs and just, it's terrible. So I call my mom and dad, because that's what you do when you're freaking out. And I'm just a blubbering idiot. My mom can't even understand me. And I told her what happened finally, and she said, I'm coming right over. So her and I drove around looking for Casey and didn't find her. It became dark. It was, lost cause at that point. We give up for the night. I call in the next day to work. I'm not coming into work. I have to find my dog. I explained to them what happened. They said that's fine. So my mom came over and we took off. Because there was farm field behind us and next to us, but we were on a fairly busy road. It wasn't a real busy road, but there was like two real busy roads, and it was a road that joined those two roads. And then there was a subdivision that went off that road. So that subdivision is what kind of made our road a little bit busy. So no, you never get over losing a pet. So then finally we just kept driving around, and my mom was driving because I was just sobbing. And we were just driving real slow, and I'm hollering out the van window for my dog. It's hollering her name over and over. And all of a sudden, she came running. And the owner of the home that she'd come running from said, the day before, that she just showed up at their door, and they were going to try to find the owner because she didn't have a collar on or anything. Like, Teeny doesn't wear a collar. I mean, we're not real smart with that, but where we live, especially now, it's 5 acres, it's woods around us. Teeny ain't getting far from me, let's put it that way. She's glued to my hip. So anyway, got her back, and it would be the saddest thing. I'd let her outside to go potty, and she would sit at the back of our property and just stare off into the field, the farmer's field, and just stare, thinking, my gosh, thinking that her friend was going to come back. So stupid. So, yeah, isn't that depressing? And I'm so sorry. But, hey, that's what happened. But all that to say that when I was a kid, the golden retriever, they're such a beautiful dog. They have the friendliest face, the friendliest temperament. They are just still so gorgeous. And I always wanted one when I was a kid. So when we got Cody, I mean, was my heart was full. And then she was only 5, 6 months old when she got hit, when she died. Sorry. Aw. Oh gosh. Hardest day of my life. I relive it often. It is a different kind of grief because they're so innocent and you think of them as more like children. Yeah, it's really a different connection that you have with your pets than you do with humans. It's really hard to explain, isn't it? Because they depend on you 100%, like children. Okay, I think I'm done tracing this. Sorry, guys. I shared that story. It's such a sad story. Yeah, I've lost several in my lifetime too. And it's hard every time, but I would never trade the joy that I get from having that pet. Because I know some people, after the loss of a pet, like my dad, he said, I'm never having a pet again. My dad was not even keen about getting a pet in the first place. And well, they had cats. I guess they had 2 cats. I'm not even sure if I was born when they had those. If so, I was very little because I don't remember having cats. But they had 2, and they tore up their furniture one day. I'm guessing that. No, I would have been born. I don't know. Anyway, they tore up their furniture, and so then they, eventually got Buffy, which was a Schnauzer poodle mix. Oh, I need to do these snowflakes, but what did I do with the paper? I'm gonna put the snowflakes in afterwards with white paint. It'll be easier. And my dad said no, never again, because he loved that dog so much that when he had to take her, because she got really sick, and when he had to take her to be put down, it tore him up. And he said never again. But I just love my dogs so much, and I love the joy that they, and the companionship they give to us when they are here. And there you go. I have 3 more dogs and a cat. Aw. Well, I love golden retrievers, but after having, like, Casey was long hair, Daisy was long hair. I'm not dealing with long hair dogs anymore. I can't deal with having to get them groomed. I just can't do it. We had Buster. He was a boxer. He had short hair, and Rocky had long hair. But anyways, after having Buster and now Athena with short hair, it's like, it's the route to go for me. Frost on the pumpkin. I love this. Ever since I sketched this, I wanted to paint it. This would be so cute as a cross stitch for fall, wouldn't it? Oh, it's going to happen, guys. It's going to happen. Hi, Fran. I'm on my lunch break and thought I'd check in and say hi. Well, hello. I'm glad you stopped by. Thank you, Diane. The bunny one, yeah, I have 2 giant boxes full of bolts of fabric that I have not even opened yet because you guys, there's not enough hours in the day. I want to create and make things as badly as I want to design things. And because designing things is our bread and butter, that's where my time always goes. I don't have time to make things unless it's like cross stitch and punch needle or something for my business. You know what I mean? It kills me to have all this amazing quilting fabric at my fingertips, but not having time to quilt. So I'm hoping, like, this year is nuts with travel, but I'm hoping 2025, like I don't have a lot of plans to go anywhere in 2025. So I'm really hoping to add quilting to, small quilts. I don't care. Small projects, even if they're not quilts, but I really want to get into sewing and making things. I want to do more wool applique myself. Like, the ideas I have for the things I want to make never leave my mind or my sketchbook. Oh, I must say, I'm glad that Whimsy 365 is over. To be honest, I have probably 10 more sketches to do to finish out last year because with all that went on in December, I just didn't have time to sketch. So I'm behind on getting that done. But so I have 355 sketches right now. That's a lot of sketches. But look at all that I have to draw from now for fabric lines, for punch needle, for wool applique, for cross stitch. You know what I mean? It was so worth it. But it's like, that took me, it depended on the day because sometimes I was like, oh, just didn't have any ideas, And then some days I would have, like, the ideas wouldn't quit coming. So I would do maybe 3 days all at once because I was on fire, I had all these ideas and, I have to put them on paper before I forget. So, it wasn't always difficult, but sometimes it was. And there were times I wasn't inspired by anything. So I'm like, well, I'm just not going to do one today and I'll do 2 tomorrow. That happened too, here and there. But then you come up with better sketches that way rather than forcing something that's not there. I've done that plenty enough in my lifetime. I don't need to do that anymore. That happened a lot with art licensing. They would want me to, yeah, art licensing was good to me, but they had so much control and create and say over my creativity that I kind of felt trapped at times. Like, I don't want to paint that, but it was my job to paint whatever they, needed me to paint in my style, of course. But I'm sure I've told you guys this before. I tell this all the time, but I remember doing a Northwoods fabric line and they wanted me to paint a like coordinating pattern that was all mosquitoes. And I remember saying, really? Who wants to snuggle up in a beautiful quilt with mosquitoes on it? I mean, I thought that was the weirdest recommendation or request, I should say, that I ever had. It's just like, okay, that's what you want, On a side note, what is that? I had to zoom in. It's really cute. Oh, frost on a pumpkin. I know. That's the thing I don't like about using StreamYard. Well, you can't do it if you're doing a YouTube video live stream either. You can't zoom in. Like, I can't make that. I mean, the only thing I could do is bring this thing down further. That would be the only thing I could do to make the picture bigger. Oh, whatever. Now I probably messed it all up. Now it's kind of drooping. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, well, I did. Right, Daisy? She said, I'm glad I have them. They're so needed right now. Yes. Pets keep us company. They bring us joy. All right. I'm kind of stalling because I'm waiting for the background to dry. Let's do some orange. I haven't painted with orange in a while, other than doing maybe a carrot nose here and there. How many here watched my Vlogmas this year? I enjoyed that so much. But that's not something I could do every year. Never miss it. Thank you, Daisy. I know Diane did because she won. I gotta look and make sure I sent your thing out. Yeah, I need to go research all that. I haven't had time. It's been with me being sick and then the launch of the Mystery Cell on Patreon. Holy Toledo. That has consumed me. This morning it's so funny. I was looking at the design again this morning and I made more changes. So last night in the Patreon live, we were talking about the Mystery Sal's called Hometown. And I said I didn't have a pizza joint in there and I should. So I was looking at the design and I found a building that I could make into the pizza place. So I did that. And then I'm looking around and the birds that I designed in that, I didn't really like the birds. But I just recently, like a couple days ago, designed a new, and I really liked the birds in that one. And I thought, I think those birds were small enough they would work for this. Sure enough, they did. So I went in and I changed out the birds. And then I, I don't know, I just went in and made changes. And then I'm like, okay, it is done. I have revised this chart so many times. And I'm like, okay, it's as good as it can get. It's just beautiful the way it is. So anyway, I made the PDF. The post has been scheduled. So at 7 a.m. Eastern time, it will be posted in Patreon. The first part of a 24-part mystery sale. I'm so excited. I'm excited to have this one done and hanging on my wall. Yes. Yes, ma'am. And I'm thinking about doing a new release in January. So I need to get on it. I don't know. It's not like I have to. I might not do it, but I have so many things to release that I can't release them all at market because, when you, especially market, because that's when all designers release their stuff at the same time. Well, that makes it hard on the shops, So let's say you release 6 things. you know, 5 to 6 things is what I think Teresa Vanette said is like kind of a sweet spot, because it's enough that it makes an impact, but it's not so much that something doesn't get lost. Because if you come out with, like me, I usually come out with like 10 things. She said you're going to have some things that people just don't buy because it's like, well, I like this better than this, and I can't get everything, which is a good point. So it has me kind of rethinking what I do. I don't know. So by doing that, I have to have more releases because I'm constantly getting things in. And so this release, if I don't do it before market, like if I don't do it in January, or even, I don't really want to wait till February. If I did it in February, it'd be like the first few days of February. So if I do this release, it will be early American folk art, which I know is not a huge seller, but I love it so much, and I know there's diehard early American folk art people, and I want to, keep growing that part of my design line, I guess you could say. So that's what it would be, and there would be 3 patterns, possibly 4, and I say possibly 4 because one of them I was supposed to stitch, and I have a ton to go on it. If I can get someone else that has already stitched it, if I can get their piece photographed, then I'll release it as well. So it'll be 3 or 4 pieces of early American folk art. Oopsie. Well, hello, Doreen. There are so many charts out there. You are right. If Patreon didn't take money out on the first, I would stay with it, but don't get my Social Security until the 3rd. No worries. I get it. We have to make, those tough decisions sometimes. We can't do everything. I was going to say something. I lost my train of thought. That comes and goes. Those thoughts come and go easily sometimes, don't they? I really love the look of watercolor. I love how you can maneuver it around with your brush. It's so different than using acrylic, which I love that too. But this is just, I like that you can see the layers underneath and all that. It's fun. Oh, I know what I was going to say. I hear so many people say they're going to stitch from stash this year. A lot of people said it last year too, but a lot more people are saying it this year. I'm like, well, that's not good news for designers. Let's put it that way. But it is what it is. As long as I have a roof over my head, clothes on my body, food in my belly, I'm good to go. All right. Doreen, right? Doreen is my cheerleader. Doreen is here to remind everyone to hit the thumbs up. Yeah, so I just forget to say that in my live stream. I'm just doing my thing and visiting. I don't think to remind people. But yeah, if you do me a big favor and hit the thumbs up on the live stream, well, what it does is it will, especially during the live stream, it will put the video in front of more people that can possibly join us on the live stream that maybe have never heard of me, or maybe they follow me and just didn't know I was doing a live stream, whatever. It's helpful to the channel, so I would appreciate a thumbs up. All snowmen wear blush, don't they? I mean, it's cold outside. I'm sure they have rosy cheeks. Yes, there are so many new designers. Yeah. Yeah, it reminds me so much of my licensing days. So when I started art licensing, it was kind of a new thing. Like licensing had been around forever. Let's put it that way. I mean, it was around forever. But most companies had in-house artists and they paid them to make their designs. Well, Warren Kimball, Carol Andrus, I'm trying to think of some of the big names. Um, Kincaid, those artists back in the 90s kind of changed the face of licensing and how companies, made their products. Because if an artist had a following, well, companies realized, well, geez, if if they have a following and people love their stuff, well, why don't we use their artwork on our products? And we'll just pay them, part of the sales, and then, you know, we are satisfying what our customers want and we are getting, fresh new art. So this was in the 90s, and I started licensing in 90, let me think. It was 96 because 97 is when I got my art my licensing agent, and I had a 96, might have even been 95. Anyway, that was my first um, licensing agreement with Vermont Cotton Company. They made cotton t-shirts with folk art on it. And they worked with Carol Andrus, was like their number one seller. You guys familiar with her work? Carol Andrus. It was Carol and then Endres, I think is how you spell her last name, if I remember correctly. And so we kind of had like Deb Strain and I, we started Market Square the same year. Her and I started licensing the same year. Like our businesses paralleled each other, and we became friends through the markets and stuff. And we kind of had a corner on the market for a while because companies were coming to these markets like Market Square and all that, the Atlanta market and stuff, looking for, artists. And it wasn't easy to find artists back then. Not that there weren't a lot of artists out there, but there weren't a lot of artists in the licensing industry. Let's put it that way. So anyway, that changed when other artists saw the potential for making money with their art by licensing, the market became saturated with like I'm talking within a 5-year span, just hundreds and hundreds of artists coming on board. Well, then, so what used to happen is I would be working with a company and they would say, okay, Teresa, we want, I would have a portfolio. My licensing agent was in charge of taking everything that I painted. So everything I painted, I would give my agent a copy of it, and they would keep a portfolio. And then eventually they had an online database where companies could go and shop around and look at the artwork. And they would then say, okay, we want to use, this painting of Teresa's and we need blah, blah, blah. We needed to paint it for paper plates, or we need to paint it for gift bags or napkins or what have you. And I made really good money doing that for many, many years. But when the market became saturated, what happened was the companies then realized, wow, there's so much art to choose from. Now, instead of just going with an artist, we're going to form these committees. And what we're going to do is we're going to have 10 artists create a bunch of art for our products. And then we're going to look at it all and decide on one or two of these artists. And then the other 8 go bye-bye. Well, unbeknownst to me that this was happening, I'm painting my arse off, so to speak. And then nothing would happen. And finally, I said to my agent, I'm like, what's happening? Like, I mean, when I had to paint for somebody, it used to be a done deal. Basically, I painted for them. They used the art. When it sold, I got paid. Okay. It would be 6 months, but mostly it would be like a year out before I would ever see money from my work, because they had to create the product. You know, that doesn't happen overnight. And then they had to introduce it to the marketplace, and then they had to sell it, and then they had to get paid, and then they had to pay me. So anyway, what happened when that started happening, I said to my agent, what's going on? And she's like, well, you know, this is what they're doing now. And I'm like, well, no, they're not. Not with me. I'm not doing that. I said, I'm not painting all this art for no reason. I'm not doing it. So I'm like, I'm too old. I am not doing that. You know, because people that were just coming into the business, that's all they knew. That's, you know, that's how it worked. Well, it didn't work that way for me for years. And so I told my agent, I'm not doing that anymore. If somebody wants to work with me, it's because they want my art or they don't. And what happened was I really didn't lose. Like I'm sure I lost some opportunity there, but at least I knew when I painted something, it was going to be used for what they said it was going to be used for. And I wasn't spinning my wheels just painting for the sake of, you know, anyway. And so anyways, what I'm getting at is I see that happening in this market now too. You know, that with floss tube and, you know, more and more people becoming aware of, you know, cross stitch and designing and floss tubing and everything. Everyone's starting to design. Not everyone, but a ton of people are starting to design. And, you know, a person's pocketbook can only afford so much. And, you know, the slice of the pie gets smaller, which is absolutely fine. That's what you call free market or enterprise or capitalism. That's what it's all about. I'm not complaining. I'm just explaining what I'm seeing in the marketplace, having a little experience over the past 30 years. But yeah, I always feel there's room for everyone. Everyone has their own take on a squirrel, on a bird, on this, on that. You know, we all have our own look and our own flair. And there you go. There's room for everyone. Excuse me. It's being flooded. Good for you. Stand your ground. Yeah, licensing is probably 0.5% of my income now. I don't really license anything. I mean, I license with Park Designs, Fabric. Well, maybe it's not 0.5% or whatever I said. It's probably 5% of my income. Yeah, Fabric isn't even, like, I remember Deb Strain when I told her years ago, this was before getting back, you know, into designing and signing with Riley Blake. I told her I was, you know, really wanting to get back into designing fabric. And she said, Teresa, it's not like it used to be. It's so nice to have friends in the marketplace that you know well enough they can be honest with you. But she said, oh, Teresa, it's not like it used to be. She said, I make more fabric lines than I ever did, and I don't make near as much money as I used to doing it. But there again, it's what happens when, you know, more and more people come in. Yeah, I used to do like 6 fabric lines a year when I first started doing fabric. And it was enough to live on. Like, I could have made a living just designing fabric at that point. It was pretty awesome. I was and still am obsessed with the gift bag boxes with your art. Still have a lot today. Oh, you know, that was probably at one point my biggest license I ever had. Lindy Bowman was the name of the company. And if I painted anything Christmas, he licensed it. So hence why I have so much Christmas art from back in the day. But it was never like, I didn't just do one image. It had to be like, I think it was a minimum of 3. And he made gift bags and gift boxes like crazy with my art. It was awesome. And yeah, that was, so my top licensees were Lindy Bowman was number 1 for quite a while. And then Books Are Fun. Oh my gosh, when I got with them, it was insane how much stuff they sold. Insane. All good times. I have cross-stitch kits from the early 2000s. One is a teddy bear picnic. Making an espresso. Sounds good, Daisy. Remember, if you were on my live stream last night in Patreon, I was talking about, you know, the first of the years when I get all of my doctor's appointments done, my physical and all that stuff. And I said, my cholesterol is probably going to be high because of Christmas. I mean, let's just back that up. Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's Eve, and my birthday. All times when you eat whatever the heck you want, and it's usually not healthy food. So I think next year, even though I'll be due in January, I think I'm going to actually make my appointment over a year and maybe do it in April. Because the first of the year, after all the holiday stuff, it's not accurate to what it is the rest of the year. It's just not. So anyway, I was saying that last night. Well, guess what? I got a phone call from the doctor's office, and the lady said, and I've never had this happen. The lady said, Teresa, the doctor would like you to come back in to go over your lab results. And my heart just sank. I'm like, really? She's a, yes. Is there a day that's better for you? And I'm thinking, oh crap. I know it's my cholesterol. I know it. I made artichoke dip. You know what artichoke dip is that I make? A thing of cream cheese, a cup of sour cream, a cup of, wait. Cream cheese, sour cream, and what's the other? Oh, my Lanta, I can't think. A cup of, I think it's a cup or half a cup of Parmesan cheese. And then artichokes, and then garlic, and then pepper. Oh, and dill. Cream cheese, sour cream, and whatever. Mayo. Thank you, Nancy. I'm like, what's the other white creamy thing that I love? Thank you, Nancy. Yes, I ate the crud out of that. I made it a double batch for Christmas, and then I made a double batch for, I had a party. We had a party here on the Friday before New Year's because my friend was here from West Virginia, and she wasn't gonna, I didn't want to host a New Year's Eve party because that's my birthday, and I didn't want to be working that hard on my birthday. So we had a party here. So we had lots of leftover stuff. People left their stuff that didn't get ate. It was all junk, you know, breadsticks and just cheesecake, all that stuff. And I just threw a bunch of it away too, because I'm like, okay, number one, it's too old, but number two, I'm done eating that way. So anyway, I have to go back. I have type 1 diabetes and mistakenly made an endocrinologist appointment January 2nd and could have kicked myself for that. Holiday blood sugars are no joke, right? Right? Yep, never again. Well, I don't think I'm ever going to do January appointments again. So for the next couple months, to get my cholesterol down, I am cutting out eggs, which I just boiled eggs yesterday to put in my salads. Oh, and then I usually eat an avocado a day, or at least a half, and I hadn't been doing that. Since the first of the year, I have been eating salads a lot more because, number one, I love them, and plus I know it's good for me. So did you get scolded, Jamie? I love my doctor. She knows. I'm headed out grocery shopping. Get some leafy greens, Christine. I'm talking so much. This painting probably would have been done had I not talked so much. It's very pastel-y looking, and I kind of like that. I usually go a lot darker, but I'm really liking the softness of this. Do your blood work in April. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of starting to do it the 1st of April, end of March, something like that. Oh, you had an excellent appointment. Awesome, Jamie. I asked her to do, when she did my blood work, I asked her to check my vitamin D level. I don't know why they don't just do that automatically anyways, but they don't. You have to ask for certain things. But I asked for that because she said, well, can I ask you why? And I said, well, because I know vitamin D is very important to, keep that high. And I said, I spend a lot of money on my vitamins, and if they're not being absorbed, then I know that they're not being absorbed in my gut, which means my gut isn't healthy, blah, blah, blah. And she goes, oh, okay. Like, oh, you kind of know what you're talking about. I read a lot, you guys. I read a lot about, and I watch YouTube videos, and I follow a lot of health people, holistic people and stuff on Instagram. And I just have always been interested in all of that. How can I be healthy and stay off medicine as long as possible? So this doctor that I'm going to, she's new there. She's actually a physician's assistant. And I used to see Kathy. She was there for years and years and years. And she retired. And then they had Amanda in there. She was only there for a year and a half, maybe 2 years. I think I saw her a couple times. And now we have Madison. And I was not looking forward to meeting Madison just because I'm like, oh my gosh, another new doctor. Like, you know what I mean? You want to I want to go to the same doctor. But I really liked her. I liked that she didn't give me crap about things. I don't know. We just kind of hit it off. My blood pressure was good. That was my main concern. So I'm stitching on Ossenberg 32 with 28 needle 1/2. thread is shredding, so I was told to use 24 needle. It's too fat to go under thread on the back to anchor it. What do you do? Heck if I know. Yeah, that's a, you know what I've done before? Well, Doreen, you're a punch needler, so this will be perfect for you. I have actually, like, so if I get a knot on the back of my piece and I don't realize it, I hate when that happens. And then you've stitched a bunch more and I don't want to rip that out. So I will, if it's a big knot with a big loop, I'll cut that. And then I will feed those ends, like cut it shorter if it's too long, and feed those ends through. And how you can do that if they're real short is I take my punch needle threader and I feed it. I mean, this would stink though to have to do with every color change, Doreen. So it's not the perfect answer, but I take my punch needle threader and feed it because it's such a thin wire under there. And then I grab my thread and then I pull it through. So that is a possibility. But yeah, so let me read that again. 32 count with a 28, oh, with a 24 needle. Huh. Too fat to go on the, yeah. Yeah, it might have a spur that's causing it to thread. Yeah, maybe try another 24, even a 26 needle instead of going to a 28. Oh, wait, 28's, okay, I'm confused. Hold on. Yeah, 24 is thicker. So maybe try 26 needle or another 28 needle. Have you heard of the doctor that was arrested for killing his wife by poisoning her? No. Christine, that was your doctor. So now I got to find a new doctor. Oh my gosh. Well, I would have to say, I'm glad you're finding a new doctor. What a quackola he is. Oh my, that's scary. That is really scary. And finding a new doctor is scary as well. Wow. Rethread with a smaller needle and then finish off. Yeah, you could do that. Ausenberg is 32 count one way, 40 count the other way. What? I've changed needles. I have a bunch of them. Ausenberg is 32 count one way. Oh, I see. So it's not a perfect square. Now I see what you're saying. I thought you meant like when you flip it over, it's 40 count. When you do this, it's 32 count. And I'm thinking, that's impossible to worry. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I see. So they're more like rectangles. I've never stitched on it, so I don't know the answer, a good answer to that. But yeah, I would try another 28 needle, like someone said. Who said that? Yeah, I haven't. Okay, so Lisa said that. Yeah, try another 28 needle, or try 26 needle, or use the 24, and then when you have some left, switch to a different needle to feed it under through the back. It's a lot of rethreading, but you know, us stitchers, we got to do what we got to do, right? Alrighty, let's do a cute little red house. Actually, I want to keep this fall colors. I don't want it to scream Christmas, so I'm not doing red. Let's do like a burnt sienna color. My gosh, it's going on 2:30. I'm probably going to have to wait and finish this up next week, y'all. Man, I'm looking forward to getting some sunshine. It has been so gloomy here. You know, they say, well, they don't just say it, it's true. February is the gloomiest month of the year in Michigan. Like, how many days are sunny and how many days are gloomy? It's like kind of crazy. We don't see the sun very much in February. Well, I can't imagine it's going to be worse than January. January has been the gloomiest January I think we've ever had. It's just dreary, rainy, cloudy, gray. At least with the snow today, it gives it a little bit of brightness. I'll make this house mustard, like a mustard yellow. I really like using the 28 needle. Haven't tried waxing. Oh, there you go. Could try that. Is 32 count linen square or is it rectangle like Ossenberg? I like Ossenberg because it's prim and I paid $5 a yard. Ooh, that's nice. Is it the needle that's shredding it or the fabric? It seems like, isn't Ossenberg? Maybe I'm getting that confused with, what is that? No, it's not. Oh, what is that? That one that's big that you make pillows out of. It's so big. So big of a count. Awesome. It's not Ossenberg. I don't know what Ossenberg is, to be honest. Oh, I can't think of the name of it. I know you guys know the name of it. Let me know in the comments. I love that Doreen likes the prim look. Me too, girl. It's 100%. Claustern. Is that the name of it? I think Claustern was what I was thinking of. Thicker than muslin. Okay. Claustern fabric. I'm looking it up real quick. My friend used to make like pillows on Claustern. I think that's the name of it. I could be completely wrong. Oh, I love this piece. I really do, guys. Gals. My poor husband, he has what I had last week. And there was a good 2 days where I just felt absolutely miserable. Well, his days was yesterday and then again today. I hope he's better by tomorrow. What a difference a day can make sometimes when you're sick. But he's supposed to have band practice tomorrow and they have a gig on Saturday. So he's got to get feeling better, you guys. Well, Google's not working for me. I put in Claustern and it's whatever. Google's just not even working. Oh, you walnut stained it. Oh, cool. Looks like canvas, but not as heavy or stiff. So that's interesting. Hi, Robin. So basically, yes, Claustern with a K. Claustern is 7 count. Yep, Diane, that's what I was thinking of then. It is. Oh, what was I gonna say? Lord have mercy. If I don't get my words out, my thoughts out quick enough, they go. They just go. Athena, that is just Kyle. Quit barking. I don't remember what I was going to say now. Oh, I know what I was going to say. So if you're stitching on something that is rectangle, you have to really consider that when you start your project because it's going to change the shape. Like it's, okay, let's say you're stitching 100, a stitch count of 100 by 100, which would be square if you're using even weave especially. But if you're stitching on something that's 32 count one way and 40 count the other way, that square will be rectangle. And so you'll have to look at the design and go, oh, do I want it to be this way That's kind of interesting, actually. Very interesting. So much to learn in the cross stitch world, right? I think I'm going to do orange. Boo boo, it's okay. Don't cry, honey. Hear her whining over there. Oh, Doreen, that's so sweet. Thank you. Great for dolls, too. I showed a comparison on my floss tube that posted Sunday, not the video I posted today, but the regular floss tube on Sunday. Cool. I have not been watching a lot of floss tube. Been watching documentaries and movies. And Everybody Loves Raymond episodes, reruns. Because, you know, you need to be laughing. Laughing is good medicine. So then I go to my doctor to find out my lab results, and then later I go for a mammogram. So Monday is going to be a real downer, let's just say. My teeny woo, she recovers kind of slow from the, well, actually last time she recovered pretty good from the anesthesia. I really do think the first time I think they gave her too much anesthesia because she was not doing well. But the second time that they went in and removed those little cancerous moles, she recovered like way quicker. So I'm going to mention that Monday when I take her in, because I'm sure they document how much they give her. And I'm just going to say, well, whatever you did last time, do that. Hopefully because I'll say her recovery was a lot quicker. I'm really praying that when she goes in to do the biopsy, because she said when she goes in to do it, if she can remove the growth, like if it's not attached to anything dangerous, or if she can get some clean borders, she will just go ahead and remove it right then, and then we would be done with it. And that's what I'm praying for, because otherwise she's going to have to go in for, well, actually, when they get the biopsy results, if it's not cancerous, we're just going to let it go unless it starts growing too big and causing issues for her. But if it is cancer, then I have to take her to to get a CT scan so they can see exactly what the cancer is growing on, and then it'll get way more complicated. So let's hope we don't have to do that route. Sweet little girl. Frost on the pumpkin. I mean, it's pretty close to being done. I'll probably wait and finish it next week, though, because it's 2:30. I'm going to get going. The salt box came out a rectangle instead of a square. See, that's cool. It's nice to get the medical out of the way, yes. I know. Well, then I go back on the 22nd, which is a Monday. I go back to my OBGYN because they're going to do an ultrasound just to check my ovaries real well. So after that, hopefully it's a clean bill of health and I'm done for the year. That is my hope and prayer. Diane said, I have a soft spot for a puppy wine. Right? Me too. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, like Laura said, what in the pattern would be kind of distorted. I think most patterns could handle it. That's why I think you'd have to look at the pattern and say, okay, like for instance, let's say this is a cross stitch. Would you want the pumpkin and the snowman fatter, or would you want it to go more this way and have him skinnier? I personally would probably go this way. I think I'd like it better, everything a little fatter than everything a little taller. Yeah, you'd have to definitely take that in consideration. All right, good people. Thanks for joining me today. We'll be back next week, as far as I know. Oh, yeah. So we were actually supposed to have the grandkids today. We normally have them on Thursdays, but until March, we're going to have them on Wednesdays because Easton has wrestling on Thursdays. So my Wednesdays, like today, I could go late, but next Wednesday, they'll only be 45 minutes long, which will actually be perfect because I can finish this and maybe even start a new one. But because we have to leave at 1:45 to pick Easton up. So it'll be from 1 to 1:45, you know, every week on Wednesday until he's done with wrestling or today. Have a wonderful week, and I hope you get all kinds of time to do all your creative fun stuff. Peace out, everyone. Don't forget to like the video.